Hello, good morning, everybody. Hey, it was so good to talk to you folks today. Matter of fact, we have people from IG, Instagram, we have people from Facebook, we have also people from Zoom. Wow, we have a lot of different people from all over the world actually watching this. Actually, I was just want to share some story with you. I was so surprised now as we, getting this webinar and circling throughout the world. There are something like 15 to 17,000 people watching this webinar as we go circling around. Matter of fact, the largest webinar we got to basically circle is 1.3 million people. So I felt that this is really significant. The reason why I say that is because at least there's 1.3 million people have somehow learned about what's happening in pre-diabetic, diabetic, how I prevent to become a pre-diabetic and would not get pre-diabetic, eventually I become a diabetes. Wow, that will be a really beneficial for many, many people. So if that's the case, we are doing something good for others. So if you have friends who actually, have not listened to some of these webinars, recommend to them. It's free, no charge. And on top of that, maybe net result will help them, become a better understanding and more prevention. Now, I'll give you a real story. This is a real story of a 45 years old lady who started off with basically didn't know there's no symptom, but she is actually pre-diabetic. And but went to see a doctor and surprised and said, well, I'm pre-diabetic. And so doctor say, hey, you gotta really not to, take a lot of sweet and then control, your lifestyle. But unfortunately, with this message, she really did not understand what's that mean. Okay. So net result, as they go on and on and on, still not really understand what's going on. So very quickly, she basically, about 3 years afterwards, converted to be a diabetes. Now, then even with that, she's still not very sure because there's no sign and symptom. It's really no. She's very young, 40-something years old, but the problem with her is she's a little overweight. She is also start developing other issue coming in health. And so then doctors say, well, you're diabetic now. You got to really, be careful. And she started medication. But unfortunately, when we start picking her up at that time, her blood sugars already went up to about 7, above 8, 9, 10, all the way going up with a whole, sequence already. So net result, I say, wow, you even take medication, your blood sugar are not coming down. And maybe you really understand to change your lifestyle. However, it's really sad. She really don't count on what do you mean change your lifestyle? Where you have to get dieting. Now, she did say she is really working on diet. But when I start reviewing with her diet is really still going a lot of rice. She didn't eat any sweet already. She's like, no sweet. But she still eat a lot of bread. She eat a lot of white bread. Then I said, hey, you still eating a lot of white bread. And I said, have you eaten a lot of vegetable? But she said, well, I like, really, I like my meats and stuff like that. So net result, the blood sugar couldn't goes up, even though she didn't take any dessert. And that's really sad. So with the low sugar, and then start help her bring it down and start understanding. And then she started realizing, wow, this is really good because I really do not understand my disease until when we start listening to a webinar, when we're attending, talking about low sugar, learning about that. She said, wow, just like my learning was here, only this much, and now I learned this much. And now she knows that, hey, this is going to be a lifelong disease. If I don't do anything in the future, it's going to have a lot of problems. So basically, with that, I thought that, wow, we're really doing a job to help people to understand why you have to listen to webinar, changing lifestyle, and become healthy so you can always become future good health all the way through, see your grandchildren, all that. So that's why I think I'm so happy to continue to do this seminar and webinar for you to better understand so you can able to become healthy. 嗱，各位同友 ，hello，我係 Andrew Lau 老師 Depressed 你好。嗱，其實咧有個故事咧講俾你聽啦，因為好多人咧就以為，咦點解要聽書啊？未必需要嘅啫。咁但係其實咧，我有個40幾歲嘅堂友啦，咁其實佢已經係幾年前咧係開始有前期患病，醫生話：喂，你前期患病喎，唔好食咁多甜嘢咯喎。咁其實佢知啊，我屋企又唔食甜嘢啊。咁其實佢真係冇食甜嘢乜滯㗎。咁但係可惜咧，一落去嘅時候咧，血糖都咁高。咁幾年後咧，佢就 convert 咗啦，咁樣 become diabetes。但係好可惜 convert 咗之後咧，佢啲糖係唔跌過，因為係咁上去嘅。咁佢係我冇食甜嘢啦，但係個問題有幾樣嘢出現，因為佢係肥胖。第二樣嘢佢唔係好做 exercise。第三佢嘅 diet 其實冇食甜嘢，但係佢就食飯，食好多麵包，食好多意大利粉。即係主要即係好多即係 starch 嘅東西咧，就少菜多肉。咁其實咧佢嘅 diet 咧係冇乜點真正係改去一個係患糖尿病病症嘅 diet，所以變咗嚟講咧，佢係 basically 個血糖一路上升。咁仲有一個唔好處咧，就係做完之後咧，佢弊家伙啦，因為佢最後食一食咧，佢藥一路係咁升上去，冇停過。最後啦，雖然飲血糖茶之後咧，咁就好咗好多啦，開始一路慢慢跌翻去7，一路依家跌翻6點幾。咁但係做一樣嘢咧，我係改變佢個咩生活習慣啦，全部食好多菜，去 exercise，去減磅。咁飲血糖茶咧，佢減咗3-4磅嘅，其實因為都幾特別，因為佢即係聽我哋慢慢喺度講啦，咁又血糖茶好多 detox 啦。咁其實咧，佢係將呢個整體嘅改變咧，係喺大概要3至6個月之中嘅時間一路慢慢改出嚟嘅。咁所以變咧，你如果就算依家聽緊書唔係好得住，唔緊要，因為咧你改嘅 habit 咧都要3、4、6個月。So listen to the webinar. You might need to start changing habit. Besides from food to many different things, you really at the end of the day, you really need to start actually to make that change, to stuck into your brain to say, I will make this lifestyle change. It will take 3 to 6 months. So during that time, you will be struggling, but that's okay. The end result, at the end of the day, you will see your A1C coming down. That's what key. You will see your health become better. And certainly you eat a lot of vegetable, but you enjoy eating vegetable now. No longer like before, I hate vegetable. You enjoy to eat your protein, but the protein will be more as a fish, like salmon and cards and all good stuff. And on top of that, you're not going to eat a lot of red meat, like steak. So you change that protein to more of healthier protein. Then instead of eating regular white rice, now you eat red rice, brown rice, all that thing will change. So this is really, at the end of the day, you start achieving a better lifestyle. And you walk 10,000 steps per day because all your watch will say, hey, I did 10,000 steps now because I have a watch. That's why you notice I have 2 watches. Reason because I do track my watch. And some people also track what? Going upstairs. One of my staff, very interesting, every day, our office is 18th floor. He walked 18th floor per day, and he also walked 18th floor down. So he basically got half of the exercise already. Isn't that wonderful? And he kept his weight down, his good health, and also he eats healthy, as we will talk about, half vegetable, protein, quarter protein, for protein, not white rice or brown rice. Okay? So 各位朋友，好重要，你如果轉你嘅生活習慣，要大概3至6個月嘅時間，即係由6個月裏邊咧，由最後3個月開始慢慢轉咧，一路咁轉上去6個月，你先成功咁轉到你嘅生活習慣嘅。同埋咧，你要繼續咧係努力啦，你個 diet 要改變啦，食一半係生菜，一半係1/4係你嘅 protein 魚啊、三文魚啊、石斑啊、白雞肉啊、就冇紅肉啊嗰啲咁東西，然後咧再加埋咧你嘅starch 你嘅澱粉質嘅東西咧就係紅米啊、brown rice 啊啲咁 high fiber 嘅東西，beans 啊啲咁，哇幾正啊！原來做完之後咧，哇你覺得生活幾好喎，冇乜所謂喎。同埋咧仲有咧，我係可以能夠 enjoy 咧食好多不同嘢，但係嗰啲嘢全部係幫助我咧更加身體健康。咁佢自己覺得好舒服。嗱，呢個咧就係一個真係好真正嘅 example 咧，俾你能夠了解，原來咧你聽咗呢啲書之後，有好啲了解咧，你係一世嘅病係改變咗你自己。 好 happy， 同埋你將來咧，我都希望你繼續可能夠同你孫啊、friend 啊個同玩 ，OK？ 咁我而家今日咧就依家 share 我 screen 咧，就希望我哋開始講座我哋嘅今日嘅lecture 啦 ，OK？ Oh, so we're going to start our lecture now. Okay, today we will talk about how pre-diabetic impact young health adults. Now, why you say, hey, I've been talking about 40-something years people. Why I want to talk about young adult? Really? Do we need to do that? Recently, I talked to a pediatric doctor who, very, very good about taking care of many kids to young adults. And the mention to me is that, wow, nowadays a lot of young adults are really getting to be quite obese. They also, their diet, they want to eat, drink a lot of the things like, bubble teas. And then, wow, bubble teas. Are you kidding? Yeah, bubble teas. And also, many people just drink 3 to 4, this type of bubble tea a day. And he's seeing this pattern, and many of these start getting to be, even though they are 18 to 25 years old, they start changing to be a pre-diabetic. And I said, wow, if they're pre-diabetic that time, pretty soon by the age 35, they can become a diabetes. Then they have a health of one whole life of problem. Do we want to do that? So I thought that this is something that we provide this sort of webinar for you, give you additional early understanding, so you can able to maybe warn your family members or children, and so this will help them to be healthy, and then they can live a better quality of life. And that's why I put this webinar together, help other people to understand this is something that you can do and you can prevent, or whatever, your children or your friends, family can prevent them to become diabetic or become a pre-diabetic, so they can be healthy. So that's why I thought we'd generate this lecture. 嗱，今日點解講座呢樣嘢咧就好簡單，因為我有個醫生朋友咧，佢係做專係為好多即係我都小兒科，亦都有啲係佢係即係後生仔喺度睇佢上去啦，咁就見到好多咧去到17、18歲咧已經係有個前期患病嘅可能性上去，再加落去2、3年咧，佢就變咗前期患病，再加幾年後咧佢係糖尿病，即係30零歲已經糖尿病啦，咪好弊，咁所以佢話咧。哇！即係啲人都唔係好懂啊！咁我覺得做咗呢個 lecture 之後，最低係 alert 咗你哋啦 ，alert 咗你 parents 啦，或者你都 share 俾你小朋友，喂，真係要知道點去能夠降低三高，做你個 exercise 嘅東西啦，或者食嘢嘅東西啦，或者減磅啦，咁能夠令到咧唔會變咗好快脆30零歲變咗糖尿病。所以今日做我講就咁解，我講咗出嚟嘅。So let's start. So today we're going to talk about what does this mean? How pre-diabetic impact young adults. So we'll give you some overview of pre-diabetic. Also, why those young people, there's so many of them among young people, and what factor contribute them to be pre-diabetic. And if we have understanding how to prevent them, and also how to make sure that they are continually healthy as they grow up, and how those shoes can help you. So we will have this agenda today. This is going to be a real good webinar for you to actually help you to let your young adults understand, and also maybe part of your family members, so you can at least alert them. 今日講座咧就係講前期患病點解會咁咧？點解呢啲年輕嘅人會變咗成咁咧？點樣佢有咩因素導致咗啲年青人去前期患病咧？同埋點預防咧？同埋點管理咧？咩策略上有咩可以做到咧？同埋佢能夠令佢繼續係永遠都係繼續健康，將來繼續係增長冇問題，唔會變咗糖尿病同埋好多不同嘅病。咁但係催糖茶點幫助你咧？咁今日就講座嘅。嗱 ，Today I saw a lot of people who are not familiarized with the names. They probably came from US, Canada. I saw some from Australia, from Southeast Asia, and also Hong Kong. So I thought perhaps I just did a couple minutes for talk about 4 stages, how you can do from that to become a diabetes, okay? Now, And this is really, nobody really try to put this together so simple. I want to make sure this is very simple for you to understand. The first thing, first stage is when your LDL cholesterol goes up and will damage your B cells. And B cell is the cells that make from the pancreas to take sugar to the cells. When the B cells damage, more B cells coming, it's not going to work. So the blood sugar continue goes up. Net result, B cells plus the blood sugar plus the LDL cholesterol mixed together, the blood become very thick. Now, then you can quickly move to stage 2, and that's the major problem for all diabetes. When you have thick blood, it's like plugs everywhere, the entire body, your brain, your heart, everywhere. So net result, when your blood vessels start plaquing up, then there's less space and your blood pressure is going to go up. So very quickly, eventually move to stage 3 because your blood sugar goes up, your blood pressure goes up, and your cholesterol goes up. Now, your 3 highs now is really going up. Now, when you get to stage 3, which is your pre-diabetic, which I'm going to talk a lot about that later on, what happened is no matter what you do, you got to change your lifestyle. You don't change your lifestyle, it's not going to work. It's not going to help you. So how do you know you are pre-diabetic? The doctor will measure your blood. Is called HbA1c. HbA1c is a hemoglobin where percentage of sugar attached to hemoglobin. If you're 5.7 below, you are a normal person. If you're 5.7 to 6.4, you are pre-diabetic. So in this stage, you have no medication. The doctor will tell you, hey, you are pre-diabetic. But if you don't do anything, don't change your lifestyle, in 3 years, unfortunately, you will convert to a diabetes. Once you over 6.4, you go to stage 4. Once you're diabetic, you cannot come back. Okay, you will be always diabetic. When you go to A1C of 7%, very likely the doctor will give you medication and you will not able to come back to regular pre-diabetic as a identifier. But you can bring your blood sugar to pre-diabetic stage and you can maintain to it, but you will be labeled already diabetes. So keep that in mind. So 4 stage, everybody's kind of go through this 4 stage, and you can do something to prevent it. And why low sugar work? Because low sugar will help you. There are 2 things in low sugar. It's not a drug, it's only a supplement of like a food. And it's not a drug. This is a guava leaves that block sugar enter your blood vessel. Guava leaves block sugar enter the blood vessel, so less sugar in the cells, in the blood vessel. And then your bitter melon will increase the insulin sensitivity tract, and then also remove sugar, excess sugar out through urine, cholesterol out through urine, and when also decrease the salt from the blood system. Net result, salt went down, then your blood pressure also will go down and also help you detox. So increased sensitivity, insulin sensitivity, there will more sugar back to the cells, so you're more fuel. So you'll be much better off, right? And besides that, our company not to just tell you, okay, drink low sugar tea. We also have 5 programs to help you. We have to help you to learn about diet control, exercise, which 8 to 10,000 steps, help you to learn about how to get your BMI from 30 lower to 23, which is your target. We have weekly webinar and also daily blood track and also your weight and your exercise. All that will teach you. All that things I give you are free of charge because we want you to be healthy. And that's our heart and that's our commitment to help you to learn more about pre-diabetic diabetes and continue to maintain healthy. 嗱，各位朋友，其實今日咧就講好多朋友咧，可能未見過啦。咁我講好快脆。第一咧，我哋有4個 stage 咧，由前期患病就去到糖尿病嘅。咁呢個4個 stage 點樣？第一，你 LDL 上升啦，咁你咧就會 damage 嗰啲喺胰島出嚟嘅 B cell 帶啲糖入翻去細胞裏嘅。咁如果 damage 咗之後咧，咁咧你就啲血糖咧繼續上升喎。咁血糖加啲 LDL 咧，嗰啲血咧就好結咧就好快脆咧就 move to 個 stage 2。stage 2咧就係你全身係咁塞。糖尿病最大問題就係全身嘅血管係咁塞。 咁你有好多板塊出現啦，板塊出現咧塞咗之後咧，血壓就會上升。咁如果你乜嘢唔做咧，咁你好快脆咧就跌咗去前期患病嘅情況啦。前期患你點知道啊？因為你個醫生會度你個 HbA1c。HbA1c 就幾多個 percent 嘅血糖咧係黐咗呢個紅血球嗰度嘅。如果你5.7以下咧，普通人；如果5.7、6.4咧，你係前期患病者。但係可惜呢個時間係冇藥食嘅，只係能夠靠你嘅生活習慣去改變啦、diet 啦、exercise 嗰啲地方咧，同埋飲去糖茶啦。咁研究是 prevent 你去揾退糖尿病嘅。如果你咩唔做，冇細3-4年後咧，你就變咗糖尿病啦。如果你糖尿病過咗6.4，你就糖尿病啦喎。咁又會升上去，去到7咧，你就會開始食藥，咁你就開始慢慢好多問題出現。咁我當然唔想做呢樣嘢啦。咁其實咧，我哋點解會介紹飲去糖茶咧？第一就係我有去糖茶有2種嘢嘅啫，有個番石榴葉就 block 啲糖入去血管裏邊，苦瓜就係增加胰島素敏感度，帶翻啲糖咧入翻去細胞裏邊。仲有咧 extra 嘅糖咧，同埋膽固醇咧，同埋鹽咧，佢就喺尿嗰度掉出嚟。當鹽掉出嚟咧，你血壓就降低，再加去排毒。所以飲咗去糖茶之後咧，你會小便多咗嘅，掉啲嘢出嚟啊嘛，係咪？咁就啦。我哋唔係淨係叫你飲茶嘅，因為呢個茶咧其實就係只係2樣嘢，苦瓜同番石榴葉又唔係藥嚟，係咪？咁但係我哋需要咧，你係去你個 diet change 咧，咩叫 diet change？就係食好多菜啊，頭先講咗啦，咁亦都要食好多 protein，就係白魚啊，或者係 salmon 啊，就唔係食好多紅肉啊啲東西啦。咁同埋仲有咧，教你 exercise 啦，8至10萬1萬步嘅 exercise 一日啦。你磅數跌翻落嚟咧，就係減到 BMI 23以下啦。然後咧又 Doctor Webinar 啦，同埋點樣度血糖啦。哇！呢嘢全部係免費嘅，俾你嘅。因為咧，我哋嘅責任咧，只係希望你能夠了解多啲，能夠令到你咧係真係俾到你咧係有個機制咧係去知道點樣叫管理糖尿病，咁能夠你繼續身體健康，睇你宣儀。Okay? So now we're going to talk about our lecture now. So really at the day, you might ask, what is pre-diabetic? We talk about it, but maybe you might not really understand. Now remember, when you have normal blood sugar, is your A1C is below 5.7. And the whole world, everybody also still measure A1C. It's not like China is not, or everywhere the place is the same. Your A1C got to be below 5.7. If you are pre-diabetic, you will be A1C will be 5.7 and 6.4. If you are above, become a diabetes, 6.5 up, you are diabetic already. So really, at the end of the day, in order for you to know you are pre-diabetic diabetes, you got to measure your A1C, is HbA1c. Now, what happened is, why there's a pre-diabetic? Because of the fact that because your cells become resistant to the insulin. In other words, the B cell come out is really doesn't work anymore. It's not damaged. It doesn't carry the sugar into the cells anymore. So your insulin doesn't really work that well. Even more insulin comes up, it still doesn't work. Okay, so when you don't have enough insulin takes sugar in the cell, your blood sugar will continue goes up, and eventually your glucose is still going to be high, and your blood sugar will be past where you measure blood sugar. Your A1C will become more than 5.7, and so the doctor will continue to test and tell you that in about maybe 3 months, and to test your blood sugar continue between 5.7, 6.4, and it will continue to go up like that. It's not going to stop because you didn't change your lifestyle. If you do not do anything in 3 to 5 years, you know what? You become a diabetes and become a type 2 diabetes. And that's how easy it is. So pre-diabetic can be prevented. As a matter of fact, that's the reason why now I basically tell lots of our friends and user of Lo-Shu tea, you don't have to wait to be pre-diabetic to drink the tea. You can do it before that, meaning that you have age 30, 35, you start drinking the tea, start doing your exercise, start doing a diet, doing your weight control. Wow. By the time you're 50, you never got into pre-diabetic. You saved 20 years of medicine, plus you are always healthy because your lifestyle have changed already, and you can be always maintain that lifestyle. Isn't that great? So try make sure not to get yourself even to pre-diabetic. OK 嗱，咩叫前期患病咧？我講咗啦。如果普通人如果 under 5，你 A1C under 5.7咧係普通人嚟嘅。如果你 A1C 5.7至6.4咧，你係前期患病。如果高過6.4咧，唔好意思啊，你係二型嘅糖尿病者啦。咁其實點解會咁咧？嗱，好簡單，因為咧，當你啲細胞你個胰島素出嚟嗰個叫B cells 啦，係帶啲糖嘅，越出嚟嘅時候咧。你嗰啲膽佢整壞咗個 B 細，咁啲 B 細唔帶啲糖入去細胞裏邊喎，咁越整咧啲糖咧越多，咁你咧就開始咧越多胰島素出嚟都唔 work 嘅，咁呢個就變咗一個胰島素抗拒啦。咁最後啦，多係咁出嚟都唔得嘅話，咁你就已經去到咧一個前期患病嘅情況，就係 A1C 變咗5.7至6.4。咁呢個時間咧，因為係咁上升啦，咁你每2-3個月醫生同你 check 一次，你前期患病啊。但係當你如果係生活習慣食嘢啊、exercise 啊唔改變咧，好快脆咧3年後咧你就變咗2型糖尿病。呢個係最大嘅問題咧，就係點去做變咗前期患病。咁其實現在嚟講咧，我教育好多朋友咧，就唔好飲去糖茶，係喺要病先飲。其實你未病之前，即係話我已經係喺前期患病之前，我已經開始飲去糖茶，我能夠降低我嘅三高，變咗永遠都去唔到糖尿病。哇！或者前期患病咁幾好啊，真係變咗你咧係輸好多啊。So you really have to understand what is the rising prevalence of a prediabetic. Now, as you know, young people are really getting more and more become a prediabetic. So this is a really concern for many healthcare provider, health people, because when you happen with that, it can be a lifelong disease once you become diabetes, and you can able to do it. And if you can able early intervention to help you to prevent you become a type 2 diabetes, you are really saving a lot more money, save yourself a lot of healthcare issue. So that's why we need to really get you, because instead of let the young people continue just eat whatever they want and they can be obese, and then when they're age 30, wow, they already become a diabetic or pre-diabetic, because once they become high, they don't even know, because there are no symptom and system, and they really don't understand. Then if they don't detect it, they don't do anything, at age 30 to 40 years old, diabetes, and that's all kind of issue. And that's something that I hope is not going to happen to you and your friends or your children. That's why I want to make sure this is being alerted. 其實咧，點解咧即係咁多年輕人咧係一路係咁增加呢個前期患病嘅問題咧？因為其實呢個係一個係好長遠嘅呢個係咁發生落去嘅。因為好多後生嘅人咧，就其實佢哋自己亦都冇乜了解啦，咁同埋仲有咧又唔知點管理啦。咁當你唔管理嘅時候，亦都唔 check 嘅時候咧，一路繼續食啲好對你身體唔健康嘅東西咧，咁其實咧最後咧就好容易即係做咗影響咗個身體健康，然後咧你就變咗即係一個前期患病者。變咗係真係好唔正仔，係咪？咁我依家強調咧，就希望我哋早啲俾你 understand。咁你早啲去預防咧，咁你唔會變呢樣嘢喎。咁亦都如果你30零歲，如果冇一個有問題嘅，你咪變咗更加好啲，變咗能夠更加係唔會有一個好多身體嘅健康啦嘅問題啦，同埋唔會有好多醫藥嘅問題咧，亦都唔會影響你生活啦。健康係最重要嘅。OK， so another question。You may ask, well, we'll talk about, wow, we need to really look at it. But why the pre-diabetic of the young adult are really all so unknown and not noticed, okay? Now, one of the most important, actually, the reason is because a lot of people say, oh, I'm young. Plus, more important is there's no sign and symptom to basically tell you you are pre-diabetic. And matter of fact, the symptoms are so limited or no severe symptom, so you don't build awareness and you have no motivation to say, I need to go look at it and diagnose, okay? So as you know, young people, they tend to prioritize with what? Well, having fun, enjoy. Why should I go prioritize myself to make a checkup, to able to really look at how good of a health. And majority not young folks will be more enjoy the life and not going to be care about my health because I'm young. Now, I can tell you a real story. This person is not young. He's 40-something years old. But on the other hand, he's an engineer. So even he came in and said, hey, my blood sugar is very high and my eyes is getting blur. But he doesn't think his eye blur was due to diabetes. He thinks that he is only a issue of short-sightedness. Until I say, hey, you check your blood sugar, it was very high. You always been pre-diabetic and now moving diabetes that affect your eye. Then she cannot be. I'm young. I'm 40 years old. How can be will be a diabetes or I'm going to be a diabetes? In their mind doesn't sink in. So many of young people is the same thing. They will not think they're pre-diabetic because there will be no sign and symptom. They are not motivated to check. And so many young individuals really do not consider I do have a health problem. But if they are already have served few signs, chubby, BMI is high, eat a lot of very sugary things, they might need to have a thing to watch in their regular health check. 嗱，其實好多年生嘅朋友咧，係點解會忽視咗，會唔知道自己會有糖尿病咧？咁其實呢個係一個嚴重嘅症狀喎，但係可惜佢呢個嚴重症狀咧係冇症狀嘅，即係冇出現咗嚴重嘅症狀嘅。最大呢個問題，因為佢如果係前期患病或者就算糖尿病之好啦，可能佢真係冇乜感覺，亦都冇乜知道點，亦都冇嚴重嘅症狀出得嚟，所以其實咧佢就唔會知道咧，咁佢又冇 motivation 去 check 下嘢啦。好多年輕人佢現在嘅生活咧係正住係做咩？哇，去下 party 啦，食多嘢啦，去玩啦，係咪生活健康咧？其實唔係好多注重嘅。仲有一個大問題咧，年輕人咧其實老實講，糖尿病搞錯咁啊！年輕糖尿病我媽咪或者我阿爺我阿嫲先有嘅啫，我邊有啦？嗱，我講係真實背景，有40歲嘅 engineer， 佢真係唔信喎，就有講埋佢都唔信。我冇可能嘅，佢眼已經開始蒙啦，記住。咁我佢嚟到呢度，我幫佢降低血糖啦，但係血糖高嘅，咁要帶佢要介紹去睇醫生啦。原來佢嘅糖尿上眼啦，已經眼咁蒙啦。咁自己佢真係唔信喎，佢話40歲冇可能我係近視。其實唔係，佢已經係做咗糖尿眼啦。所以其實咧，好多年輕人真係可能真係唔會了解，亦都冇心機去了解，因為佢都冇乜症狀。咁佢變咗嚟講咧，就個個都係唔係咁注重啦。But when you really at the end of the day, you look at it, really when you think about, is it really have a lot of people pre-diabetic for the pediatric people, or is a young adult people or adolescent people? Is it really that number? Is that high? And when we start looking at U.S. and maybe even other countries, then we found that, there are about 5,293 children and adolescents aged between 10 to 19 years old already become type 2 diabetes. Wow, type 2 now. In other words, they already converted. And many young adults develop pre-diabetic high risk. And if they start develop this high risk, the dementia as we go on will eventually be higher and higher and higher. Because dementia is the blood in your brain is stuck, clogged. So behind here is your memory. You got lost it. So you become really dementia. And in America, 30% adolescents and young adults meet the criteria of pre-diabetic. Wow, 30%. You know why? The diet, they don't exercise or whatever, especially took a lot of sweet, no problem, a lot of donuts, no problem. That's got them to be in trouble. And this is something that really, at the end of the day, really need to really watch. The young adult or adolescent could be in the pre-diabetic stage. And if they don't do anything, usually 3 to 5 years, they convert to the diabetes. 嗱，各位朋友，好特別咧，如果你知道數字咧，咁你知道好多細路哥有可能咧， 真係要注重嘅。原來喺美國咧有5293個人咧係10至19歲咧已經係二型糖尿病啦。嗱，如果二型糖尿病即係話前邊咧佢已經係已經 Prediabetes 二型啊嘛。咁如果患有糖尿病嘅年青人咧，其實咧佢係有好多不同嘅風險咧係落去佢嗰度嘅。如果佢患前期患病，佢乜都唔理，佢 eventually 變咗糖尿病啦。但係如果好細個依家前期患病咧，咁弊啦，佢好多時咧呢個前期患病咧，仲有咧可以做到唔記得嘢啊，因為記住咧個糖喺呢度啦，入嚟塞咗喎，咁後邊個腦嗰啲細胞冇咗資訊啦，咁啊記唔到嘢噶咯喎。咁而喺美國咧，30%嘅年青人咧已經合乎喺前期患病嗰個規格裏邊，即係話咧好多呢啲咁嘅年青人咧係好快脆會轉咗去糖尿病。哇，咁就好笨㗎啦！嗱，美國咧其實依家有96 million 嘅人咧係前期患病嘅，咁但係咧亦都有30幾個 million 嘅人咧已經係糖尿病者啦。喺香港咧 estimate 2.3個 million 嘅人係前期患病嘅，70幾萬人咧係糖尿病，所以 number 全部唔細嘅，即係話30幾個 percent 嘅人咧已經係呢樣嘢咧係喺呢個糖尿病或者前期患病，哇！呢個係一個重大嘅問題，所以變咗嚟講咧，真係要俾多啲人知道咧點解會係有呢個前期患病，點解有糖尿病。So another question you might ask, what is the factor of prediabetic young adult? What make them to be prediabetic, especially young adult? Now, very important, most important factor is really unhealthy diet. Now, when you get an unhealthy diet, you got to keep that in mind. What is unhealthy diet? A lot of people, young adult, you see your son or your children, what do? They eat a lot of what? McDonald's, a lot of ice cream, a lot of sweet, things like that. You know, those are all unhealthy diet. So really try not to eat a lot of those things, man. You know, donuts, very high sweet item. You can occasionally 1 or 2 is okay, but not every day. Where a lot of people just, wow, man, I would do it every day because this is my breakfast. So they eat 2, 3 donuts every day. Wow. When I was young, I make the same mistake too, to be honest. But now I realize, hey, that's not too good, man. Don't eat 3, 4 donuts a day because they're delicious, but don't do it, man, because unhealthy diet is not good for you. You have to go through healthy diet. Now, another one is lack of physical activities. So a lot of young folks tend to like to be today what? Computer. I keep doing my computer. I am always facing whatever I do on my computer, so I don't move anymore. 8, 9 hours, I stay on this computer forever and ever. Thought that, wow, that would be okay. That's not okay. Lack of physical activity is going to get you. Also, they're overweight and obese. I saw many young folks are obese. And so net result, because they have no activities, they don't do more exercise, they don't walk too much, so they become big, get bigger. Plus, they eat of the diet, a lot of fat, a lot of sugary diet, then it's not going to help them too. So all that will come along. Now, the last but not least, I have a lot of clients, actually, the parents are diabetes, the mother and fathers already diabetes, the grandparents are diabetes. Now the children are most likely become diabetes also because they have family history. That's why I have a client, every time they buy 9 bags of low sugar tea, I said, wow, how do you buy 9 bags of low sugar every time? Are you selling the product? He said, no, because my uncle, auntie is, my parents is, myself is, my brother and sister is, are all diabetes, okay? So they use low sugar to help them lower the blood sugar. So that's why every time they buy is 9 packs. So I said, wow, okay, well, good. I hope you can do this and help you become healthier. 嗱，點解咁多嘅後生嘅人咧係會有前期患病咧？最大問題咧就係第一，佢係食啲嘢唔 healthy， 太多麥當勞啦，太多雪糕啦，太多呢咁嘢嘅。第二樣嘢，佢係唔喐不滯嘅，即係唔去做好多 physical activities。咁又唔打波，又唔行，乜都唔有。仲有好多嘅後生嘅人咧，都係喺個 公司或者係做嘢咧，全部喺電腦做，所以佢乜嘢都唔喐啊，係喺嗰度做，咁佢又搣嘢都係喺兩隻手指，就唔係去行啊。咁仲有好多係已經係肥胖咯 ，overweight 咯，咁嗰啲咧就更加多咧，有機會咧係轉咗佢前期患病嘅。咁仲有一樣嘢 family history， 即係你屋企人已經係有呢個病咧 ，most likely 個 chance 你又係高嘅，所以呢個咧就好難係真係要注重啦。So you really ask, well, you know, when you're pre-diabetic, you will eventually trigger a lots of different disease coming along. So you really need to make sure you are not in this stage eventually lead you to all kind of health problems. And the sugar is one of the big issue you have. So 前期患病咧，然後點解會有前期患病，會亦都引發你一連串嘅健康問題咧？咁依家你開始要了解下，因為呢個係真係嘢東西嚟嘅。嗱 ，so when you have when you're pre-diabetic, you're gonna have all kind of health issue that will be falling through. So one of the biggest health issue for pre-diabetic is you will eventually, if you don't do anything, there's a major health issue is you will convert to a type 2 diabetes. Now, matter of fact, in fact, 70% of pre-diabetic eventually will develop to be type 2 diabetic in 10 years. 70%. That's a big number. And that's why we try to help you to understand what is a pre-diabetic. We want to help you even before you're pre-diabetic. You can come in to make sure you start doing exercise, doing all kinds of stuff, so you will not become from pre-diabetic. You will not become a pre-diabetic, and you will not become a diabetes. So imagine 70% of pre-diabetic in 10 years, you will convert to be diabetes in 10 years. Matter of fact, many of these 70% in 3 to 4 years already convert. Wow, that's a lot of numbers here, man. So don't get yourself into that, okay? Now, pre-diabetic also increase the risk of developing high blood pressure, and that's a major risk to get your heart disease and stroke, okay? Now, one of the pre-diabetic major problem is also in heart attack and stroke, right? So you want to prevent that. And then also, if you are also high blood pressure, most likely your cholesterol must be high, because remember that your LDL cholesterol and the blood mix together, your blood becomes thick. That's why I call, plug up your vessel all over the place. So pre-diabetic always usually have a high cholesterol. And that will be also increase your risk of cardiovascular disease. So all that add together, you are basically set up the stage to have all kind of disease that will come along. 嗱，各位朋友，因為咧，其實咧前期患病咧好重要，第一樣嘢咧就係你會變咗係糖尿病，係咪？70%嘅病人咧喺10年裏邊咧都會 convert 咗嘅，有啲係喺一部分咧喺3至4年亦都 convert。嗱，當你有咗糖尿病嘅時候咧，有好多問題出現嘅喎，其實唔係喺度停喎，你一落去好多心臟病啦、血壓高啦、膽固醇又會高啦。咁如果膽固醇高咧，你就係對心管病咧係好緊要嘅。血壓高咧就會有問題咧，中風啊，或者心臟病啊，仲有損壞你個腎啊。咁呢啲嘢全部係令到你咧係有好大問題嘅。So also pre-diabetic, when you start going to eventually convert to a diabetes, you have also a possibility of stroke. Now, when you have stroke, you are actually eventually grow older is going to be a major issue, because when stroke not only leads you to death, but you don't die, you have a high cost, tremendous high cost, because you can move, you can work, or you can move, but you have really struggled. Wow, man, that's a not good life scoring. So you don't want yourself to have stroke, okay? And also nerve damage. Now, a lot of people don't recognize pre-diabetic can eventually get your nerve damage. You got to start pain, numbness, tighten the hand and feet. A lot of pre-diabetic already start feeling, oh, my feet feel kind of funny. I don't seem to have a little numb. And matter of fact, I feel kind of tight and dry. Pre-diabetic, because you start getting that, your nerve damage will start beginning. So net result of that, all that become very important, because eventually When it gets worse, the blood vessels are all plugged up. Your nerve cannot get your energy. Nerves start dying. So in that result, you really loss of feeling. Wow, imagine that. And eventually, if you have diabetes, 30% of diabetic patients have not have sex at all. The reason, because they can feel. Now, then you have the eye damage. Because eye damage can eventually damage your eye. You get blindness. Imagine you're 40 years old, you're blind or things like that blur. Man, how bad that will be, because you can't work, or you get work, you'll get every time you have to look at one eye. I have engineers who have actually, because one eye they got damaged, I can save him one eye, but one eye he can see, other eyes blur. So you're only 40 years old. If you live to 80 years old, you're 40 years of blur vision. I don't want you to be that bad. I want you to be really healthy and able to continue to be a good and enjoyable life. I think that's the most important. I hope you can continue to let yourself know what is diabetes, and maybe you can save your eyes without getting blurred, okay? And a lot of people don't also understand sleep apnea. If you have pre-diabetic, most likely you're going to sleep apnea because you are over fat over here, your tongue tends to drop back and cover your air pipe. So net result of that, you're going to start getting a lack of air going to the brain, end up you relax so much that you can have stroke. And that is really able to sleep apnea is actually one of the common unrecognized issue of pre-diabetic. And you can just basically continue pause breathing and you can get stroke. So that's not a good place to be. And you really, if you get sleep apnea, you have to wear this machine, CPAP machine, throughout the life to go through to make sure that you breathe well continuously. And then the worst but not least is you have pre-diabetic. Your pre-diabetic can actually lead to kidney disease, because when you are converted, you are leading to go to 70% of many of the type 2 diabetic patients will have some form of kidney disease. So imagine that you can able to get all these diseases coming on. Wow, isn't that really not so good? So 各位朋友，其實因為頭先講咗好多，如果前期患病 lead to 咩 disease 咧，咁其實都幾得人驚下喎。因為最後第一你唔係自己邊糖尿病啦、血壓高啦、膽固醇高啦，但係最大問題呢啲嘢全部 lead 去邊度啊？你能夠中風啦。喺美國第3個死亡嘅多人就係中風 stroke 中風啊，咁好弊喎。咁你中風唔係死啊，唔死得個慘喎。你中風行唔到，你有好多照顧，要有好多即係生活上嘅人哋照顧，你個 cost 係好高 ，lifestyle 唔正仔。神經損壞咧，亦都好多人都唔知嘅。嗱，你前期患病開始，你啲神經咧開始已經 block 咗啦，咁啲神經就慢慢損壞啦。咁你就可以見到啲腳咧 feel tight 啊 ，feel 唔係咁得好啊，舒服啊。咁其實麻痹啊，呢個係慢慢嚟嘅。嗱，如果你繼續去到糖尿病咧，30% 嘅糖尿病者係冇咗性功能，個原因就冇咗感覺。仲有眼盲啦，嗱，糖尿眼咧，好多人咧係會變得矇嘅。如果你40零歲糖尿眼咧，弊家伙咯。我如果住到80歲嘅，我40年睇唔到嘢乜滯咧，你正唔正？生活唔正仔啦，做嘢唔正仔啦，哇！靚女睇唔到喎，點算咧？係咪？咁真係咧，你係冇咗即係一個好啲人生嘅生活係咪？咁仲有啦，呼吸咧有一個睡眠窒息性啦，即係叫 apnea 啦。咁呢個亦都有問題，因為你呢度好肥胖啊，個脷跌咗落去咧，係冚住你個氣管個唞氣個air pipe 啦。咁變咗你唞唔到氣嘅時候咧，啲氣去唔到腦嘅咧，你可能 end up 會有 stroke。呢個就最大問題，有中風啦。咁最後啦，仲有咧腎病，你冇講到喎。原來腎病咧70%係糖尿患病者有腎病嘅。咁你前期患病咧就可能咧就 lead 去呢樣嘢。最後啦，當你腎壞咗之後，得翻30%話就嚟話你要洗腎喎。咁洗腎嘅時候咧慘啦，一個禮拜要去醫院洗2-3次咧，或者你喺屋企洗 CAPD 咧，哇！ 呢啲嘢全部令到生活咧係更加多咗一重嘅障礙，哇唔正仔，所以千祈唔好跌落呢啲咁嘅陷阱嗰度。你而家開始做嘢咧，幫助你咧能夠唔會變咗依扎咁嘅人 ，OK？ So we talk a lot about how you can able to prevent the disease. We talk about what the disease come actually. Now we'll talk about what strategy to do to prevent the disease. Okay. Now, very important, very simple. You can do it. Definitely, it's up to you. You want to do it or not. One thing is you got to maintain a regular bedtime and don't get yourself stressed up. You have to sleep 7 hours every day. Ensure that you really enough sleep and to wake up at the same time, like 6 o'clock, 6:30, you sleep at 10 o'clock. That's fine. As long as 7 or 8 hours, minimum 7, and yeah, you got to get up and make sure that every day you pretty much do the same thing. And even though you're going to say, hey, every day and even weekend, sleep a little longer, fine, 7 to 8 hours, that will be good. So get a regular bedtime hours and you will be wake up. Wow, you'll be able to ready to go. Now you have to eat a healthy diet. A healthy diet meaning that you have low carb. You have to eat portion with, not to overeat. Half of them must be vegetable. And then 1/4 of this is going to be fish, like salmon, cod. 1 portion will be red rice, brown rice, beans, rather than eating lots of other processed food, hot dogs, and all the good stuff. No, you don't want to eat a lot of hot dog. Processed food is not going to be good for you. You want to eat high fiber food, like red rice, high fibers, wheat, grains, okay, all these high fibers. Also, you have to drink a lot of water. That's why Lo Shu Tea purposely, why they get you to drink 2 liters. The reason is when 2 liters, you have enough water, you can able to excrete all the poison. If you have enough water, you're able to help you to detox, get rid of the sugar, get rid of the cholesterol, get rid of your salt, and lower your blood pressure. And last but not least, you have that regular exercise. You have to lose about 10% of your weight would be good, because if you lose 10% of weight, you lower 1% of A1C. You have to do at least 10,000 steps, 8 to 10,000 steps per day, at least 30-minute exercise if you can. You can do step master, you can walk, and you make sure 150 minutes per week, and work to fit whatever you need. I know a lot of people say, hey, I can't go out. No problem. If you're in Hong Kong, you buy a step master, get a barbell, just do this every day. Every day, you do it 30 minutes and walk up and down on your step master. Cost you about $300 to $400 to get one. And will burn, if you have an hour work, you burn off at least 300 calories, and you can able to do that will lower your weight, actually help you to get better, strengthen all your muscles, eventually also help you to lower your blood sugar. That is real good stuff for you. So keep doing that. Now, 好重要咧，其實咧，我頭先講咗啦，可以防止你糖尿病，亦都防止你血壓高，膽固醇高，變咗你唔會有失憶症，唔會有心臟病，唔會有血壓高，唔會有腎病，呢啲係好重要嘅。咁但係點去做呢樣嘢啊？第一，你睡眠咧要真係有一個 regular 時間，就唔會話哇6點瞓6個鐘就夠啦，唔係，你每日要瞓大概7至8個鐘頭，每日都一樣嘅。同埋你最重要健康嘅食品就要減低你碳水化食物啦，同埋你個分量啦，一半係咩啊？菜，綠色嘅菜，4位係咩啊？魚，瘦嘅肉，唔係愛紅肉，唔係愛 steak， 然後4位係啲紅米啊、beans 啊，就唔係飯喎，唔係白飯喎 ，OK？ 咁你仲有咧控制你所有唔食加工嘅食物，好似 hot dog 啊，要唔好食啦，要多啲纖維嘅食物咁同埋咧，最飲好多水，每日要飲3個 liter 嘅，2個 liter 虛浪茶，1個 liter 水。點解虛浪茶特別係做2個 liter 俾你飲咧？每日要飲咧，就係能夠令到你係去排毒，將嗰啲排出你嘅膽固醇啊、血壓啊、血糖啊， 同埋你嘅鹽走出嚟，咁你血壓會降低，降低三高一定要有夠水你得嘅。咁同埋咧要有運動啦。嗱，如果你減低10% 嘅你嘅體重咧，就降咗1% 嘅 A1C 嘅。咁每日咧要做大概30分鐘運動啦，就每天如果一個禮拜最咧150分鐘運動啦。咁你仲有需要咧就繼續去努力去運動。嗱，好簡單，你有一個啞鈴啊，咁樣上落，咁咧每日咧就係做大概半個鐘頭。喺個 Step Master， 你買個 Step Master 咧係大概300蚊港紙嘅啫，咁你就可以做一個 Step Master， 係咁樣行都得噶啦，或者去行公園，或者行 shopping mall 一樣可以嘅。So keep doing your exercise. Now, also beside you can do your diet, your exercise, and sleep. One of the most important is manage your stress, because if you are very stressed, stress get your blood sugar goes up. You know why? Because you got to get your blood sugar goes up because the body will prepare you to fight. So your blood sugar will goes up. So very important. When you are pre-diabetic, very important to really manage your stress. Take deep breath, and then basically don't let the insulin to continue coming out, and your blood sugar will continue to go up. Manage your stress. You can exercise, you can do Tai Chi, you can do whatever, listen music, deep breathing. You gotta make sure manage your stress. You also need to drink low sugar tea daily. The reason why I drink low sugar tea is not a drug. It's just a food, a drink, a beverage, and it's no caffeine. You can do it even before you go to sleep. It basically helps you to blood sugar. And you have to also regular check up with doctors. So in every 6 months, you check a doctor. Then you realize if you are pre-diabetic, you better close this screen. If not, pretty soon you don't know where you're at. You will basically convert, don't even know. So you have to continue to realize your mistake. 各位同學好重要咧，因為前期患病一定要降低壓力，因為壓力係增加你血糖上升嘅。因為身體好得意嘅，當你有壓力嘅時候咧，啲糖就會走出嚟咧，就話喂，我俾糖你準備打仗。但係呢樣嘢咧就將糖繼續上升唔正仔啦。咁你如果係好多壓力嘅，深呼吸啦，聽音樂啦，又可能夠知道或者係做下 exercise 或者深呼吸去 relax 咧，有時做太極嗰啲都可以 relax 嘅，繼續做呢樣嘢。嗱，點解飲去糖茶咧？因為去糖茶每日你飲醉啦2個公升嘅水啦，攞嚟排毒啊。如果你唔飲水咧，係竟然排毒唔到出嚟，啲糖就繼續喺身體裏邊。同埋大濾 blood 啊，咁你一定要大濾咗你個血，咁能夠將你糖放走先。咁同埋咧就呢個係冇咖啡因嘅low sugar tea，咁你夜晚飲亦都唔會影響你瞓覺嘅。但係多水係對十分好。咁同埋咧就每半年啦，亦都睇下你嗰個身體狀況啦。因為如果你唔度血，你真係唔知道點解你會頭病喎。So really at the end of the day, you gotta ask yourself, one, I have to early detection, understand what my risk factor is, and you understand is that it's sign and symptom of pre-diabetic. Really encourage your younger adult to test, because if you don't take your blood, you will never know you are pre-diabetic, okay? You will not know, right? So you really have to take the blood test, see the doctors, and you know you have early diabetes or pre-diabetic, so you can able to have some kind of intervention, starting a plan, exercise, diet control, and drink low sugar tea, for example, to help you prevent this long-term complication. Now, you really got to understand the risk if you don't do anything, because there's a lot of risk. You can go to heart attack, kidney disease, skin, your nerve damage. Your brain would not remember things anymore. Wow, that is terrible. And you really get to have A1C tests, because if you have A1C tests, you have average, understand what your blood sugar going to be. So you got to go with the healthcare provider that give you continue, maintain, and prevent you become getting worse. So very important. That is a strategy for young folks. 嗱，早啲測驗咧，了解你係咪前期患病好重要嘅，因為你係冇乜症狀發生。就要有症狀嘅時候已經係好遲下，所以希望你做樣嘢啦。咁繼續咧係要有 A1C 嘅測驗啦， 大概3個月啦，或者半年啦，因為你度咗血，你先知你係有糖你冇糖尿，或者前期唔糖前期你都唔知嘅，你一直度血先知嘅。咁當然啦，一定要跟住醫生嘅意見啦，睇同埋仲有你自己依家聽咗嘢啦，咁你開始了解，哇，原來糖尿病係有咁大風險。前期患病亦都俾到一個先兆你知道糖尿係點樣嘅，咁呢個係好重要喎。OK， so really at the end of the day, you know, drinking low sugar tea will lower your 3 high. You can drink hot and cold. I would like young folks buy low sugar tea. Actually, put the 2 drinks. They make 2 drinks a day in a refrigerator, something like this, a big bottle like that, and put the low sugar tea in there, steep it, and then after finish steeping, just leave the bag in there, and they will actually have it to, you know, steep for just let it steep, and then put it in the refrigerator. And tomorrow, next day, when they drink this, they can drink it cold, ice, and they love it. Now, you can also squeeze 1 lime in there to make it even tastier, up to you. But you make your tea drink very, very interesting. One of my customer who follow up, actually, he's the one who actually told me what he's doing. But now many customers are following. They said with that, they save more than $20 worth of coffee, and they feel a lot more healthier and feel great and they drink this iced tea everywhere. And they got a bottle, not a regular bottle, a metal bottle is also heat release, heat protected, so it doesn't get hot inside. So they're always chill. And that result, they said there's so much enjoyment. And that is something they do. And they put it in the car or go to work, go with it. So low sugar tea definitely help you. And they have only 2 things in there, guava leaf, bitter melon. It's not a drug, it's just a drink. 各位朋友記住咧。你飲虛糖茶咧係好幫助你嘅，其實飲熱又得，凍又得。好多年青人中意飲咩係凍嘅，唔緊要。我喺美國好多朋友咧，依家就改咗佢一個樽，擺咗做2壺茶，但係佢認為做咗之後雪凍咗佢就擺喺雪櫃。咁擺喺雪櫃之後咧，哇正咯！佢成日係咁飲。咁有個客人咧，佢話每日佢慳咗20皮美金嘅咖啡費，哇！真係開心啦。So as you know, you know, low sugar tea definitely help you lower blood sugar, lower bad cholesterol, LDL cholesterol, and lower your blood pressure. So if you lower your 3 high, man, you are really ready to be healthy. 各位朋友，記住飲虛糖茶係幫助你降低血糖啦、血壓啦，同埋壞嘅膽固醇啦，咁就能夠幫助你繼續身體健康。So 你減咗你三高咧，機會你轉前期患病係低咗好多啦。Okay, so now in conclusion today, we learned a lot today. The reason why we want to really talk about pre-diabetic diabetes for young pre-diabetic for a young adult. The reason is because if you don't let them to understand what is pre-diabetic, many young adults have no idea. So they really do not know what consequences that will be moving forward. If they do not address it, they don't look at it in a lifetime, then pre-diabetic will change their diabetes, and after change, they have all kind of life problems. So you don't want them to be age 40 already become from pre-diabetic to diabetes and have all kind of life problems. That's terrible. You don't want to do that. And if you're pre-diabetic, it's not a life sentence. You can get well if you're proactive doing it and modify your lifestyle, do a checkup, get a diet change, lower your blood sugar, and you will be lower cholesterol and lower your blood pressure, your 3 high lower. The chances for you to become a pre-diabetic is very lower. And so you will continue to be healthy, long-term good health. And that's why we want to give you this awareness and let you know you can empower your kids to let them know you can manage this. You don't need to go to type 2 diabetes. You don't need to go to pre-diabetic. You can keep yourself healthy and really understand changing the lifestyle, changing the diet, and drink low sugar tea. It works. It will help you be healthy, and you'll enjoy your children, grandchildren, and very limited the unnecessary medical expenses. Isn't that really much more wonderful? So I think this is what I was trying to help today with this webinar, to alert you folks so you can able to continue to live a very good life. And I hope you can able to do that. 嗱，各位朋友，今日我講嘅嘢咧，點解為年青人咧去講前期嘅患病咧？因為原來當佢做咗了解咗之後咧，佢一生係會能夠唔會變咗前期患病或者糖尿病，咁佢身體更加健康，亦都能夠令到佢咧係可能佢有好嘅佢自己身體健康就會好嘅細佬哥啊，佢嘅第時亦都變咗老嘅時候就冇啲前期患病去糖尿病嘅風險啊，同埋仲有咧。佢依家了解咗之後咧，佢一路轉咗落去咧，佢會轉咗佢嘅生活習慣喎，佢身體健康啊，全部繼續身體健康喎，咁咪都唔會變嚴重嘅病喎，咁啊幾好，咁變咗嚟講咧，佢係一個繼續健康人，所以最好咧就喺未到前期患病，佢了解咗繼續飲血糖茶，幫助佢降低三高，唔會有膽固醇、血糖高同血壓高。咁佢又繼續咧係繼續好嘅生活，仲有 exercise，佢嘅身體嘅即係轉咗生活習慣，有磅數減低，咁佢亦都係 diet 好嘅，咁變咗嚟講咧，佢就永遠都去唔到前期患病，佢我嘅身體有幾頂。So really at the end of the day, I hope that now you have a lot of people able to understand and able to pass this message to your children, so they can understand, if I don't take care of myself, I will be basically become a pre-diabetic. And when I become pre-diabetic in about next 4 to 10 years, I will become diabetes. Wow, why should I want to be not healthy? You want to be healthy all the time. And especially your LDL cholesterol start going up, you got to be careful. You got to drink your low sugar tea to help you lower the cholesterol, and eventually lower your blood pressure. Eventually you become less stressed, and you become not become pre-diabetic or diabetes. Now, if you have any question, do write to me, andy@wahfong.com, ANDY@WAHFONG.com. Or you can call us in WhatsApp. The WhatsApp number Hong Kong is 852-6792-8891, 852-6792-8891. Or WhatsApp us a message, 852-001-5644. Oh, so any question, let us know. We would love to answer your question, and I hope that you can able to pass this message to your people, your friends, and relatives, and so forth. Okay, is there any question from the floor? If not, then I wish you everybody a very, very happy weekend. Let's see, is there a question in here? Let's see. Okay, I don't see any question in Facebook, or I don't see any question in Zoom. So okay, so that's good. So anyway, don't worry if you have any questions. Enjoy your weekend, and I'll see you next week. You take care. Thank you. Bye-bye. Thank you for all the people attending my webinar. Thank you. Thanks, Adrina. I'll see you then. Take care. Bye.